Hi, I'm Janine Volkwyn, and I'd like to tell you about how I uplift and empower and calm myself, and how I support my health and the health of my family with plant magic. And if I talk about plant magic, I'm talking about the concentrated parts of the plants, the concentrated version, that which gives the plants its aroma, and so much more. I'm talking about essential oils. And so yeah, I feel us as women, we have so many roles that we need to step into, whether it be as a mom, as a wife, as a friend, daughter, employer, employee. There's just so many things on our plates. And I feel for me personally, before I can do any of these, before I can step into any of these roles with efficacy, I need to take care of me. I need to take care of Janine. And for me, what's important as a woman is to be calm. That for me is of utmost importance. If I can take care of anybody else, I need to be calm. And I think because I grew up with anxiousness, not knowing at the time that it was not a norm, that everybody didn't feel like I felt. This is also something that I only discovered in my 30s, actually, as part of the journey um, that we went through with my son who's on the autistic spectrum. I realized that I was suffering with anxiety my whole life and I never knew. And so one of the oils that I used for me that was quite effective was adaptive. This is what it looks like, and it comes in a little roller, but it also comes in a 15 ml bottle like this, where you can actually make your own bottles, roller bottles like this. And it's so simple. So what you basically do is you apply it to your skin. So you roll it onto your pulse points, your neck, your wrists. I like to apply to my forearms and just inhale. And I do this at various points throughout the day as I would need it, and it created such a difference to me. So this is a blend of different oils. It's got wild orange and lavender, neroli, magnolia, copahiba, spearmint. There's quite a few oils in here, but they all work synergistically. They all work so well for anxiousness. And so this is definitely an oil that I would highly recommend for that purpose. So that's an oil I love using. Speaking about lavender, that's in the adaptive oil. Lavender, if you think about lavender, right, it's the most well-known oil. And for what reason? We all know it's for calming, right? So lavender is for calming and for soothing anything. Soothing, whether it's the mind and the emotions, or whether it's the skin. Lavender is amazing for calming. So I love using lavender. I can either just inhale it from the bottle, or I like using it just a drop, adding a drop to the palms of my hand and smelling it like that, just inhaling it. And when you do that, it slows down your breath. It gives you a moment to slow down, it slows down your thoughts, and this is a great way of just, using it during the day just to slow yourself down. So lemon is amazing for calming purposes. I love using it at night as well to just lull me slowly to sleep. I put it on my forearm, and as I lie on my arm, or on my hand, I'm inhaling this aroma, um, and that sort of allows me to sleep. I love it. It works amazingly well. And so if you think about it, when you inhale an oil, what happens is that within um, goes to the part of the brain, the lower part of the brain, and then this just tells the brain and sends messages to the rest of the body, and to tell the body what to do. So this happens within seconds. We're talking about like 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds, and it reaches the brain. And so this is an amazing tool to use just to sort of reset yourself, right? So that's the way I use lavender. As I said, all things soothing to the skin, all things soothing to the mind, lavender. And then lately, I mean, I'm quite drawn to oils like um, geranium and helenium. So geranium is an oil that you can use for, it's an amazing smelling oil. It's called the poor man's rose. And so you'll often find on the markets that geranium is, rose is actually adulterated, and it's actually geranium in the bottle and not rose. So very easy for oils to be adulterated. And so you want to use a company that you can trust and that you know all about their sourcing model, and that when they say that there's geranium on the bottle, that this is exactly what's in the bottle. Um, so geranium, amazing for liver support. It's amazing for hormonal concerns. It's in an oil called Calm. It's a blend of doTERRAs, where there's quite a few oils in there. Geranium is one of them. Any kind of sort of PMS, hormonal balancing that you need. Um, yeah, what I'm going to be doing lately is I'm going to be doing a castor oil pack with geranium on the liver area and the castor oil pack and the hot water bottle lying overnight or with just with a few hours. So that's great for sort of detoxing the liver. Um, and yeah, anything anything that's got to do with bleeding. So if you think about perimenopausal women and excessive bleeding, this is something you might want to try. Or cuts and wounds, geranium is great for that. Yeah, what I like to do as well. So geranium, yeah, just getting back to geranium as well. Geranium is an oil that helps you to feel mended. Um, and with all these essential oils, you'll find that there's this emotional component to it. And sometimes your body will feel drawn to a certain oil because that's exactly what your body needs. And so geranium is the oil of feeling mended, to go from neglected to where you feel mended. Um, I just can't get enough of this oil lately, actually. Lavender, for instance, is the oil of communication and calm. So lavender, for instance, if you need to speak at an event, or you're doing public speaking, or you want to say something and you want to have the words come out in the way that you mean it, lavender is a great oil of just, to put over the throat. So there's all these tips and tricks with these oils that just so powerful. Another oil that I am using lately is Ylang Ylang. Ylang Ylang is an oil that I use just to support my blood pressure. It's also a calming oil. All floral oils are calming. If you think about what they look like, they're serene looking, they're not too bright. And that's what it does to your emotions as well, just quite calming. Ylang Ylang is also good for like all floral oils for the hair and the skin. Oily skin, it's also great for the hair. Ylang is also great for hormonal balancing, so it's something you can put on your abdomen, and it's also great for libido. So that's a nice one to use. And then, of course, if you think about us as women and all the products that we use, right? We from makeup to body care products to lotions, hand lotions, you name it, right? We use so many products on our bodies, and we're already bombarded with so many other environmental toxins, what we eat and drink and breathe, and our thoughts. These can all be toxic. And so, for me, it's important to know what I'm putting on my body, and it's important to know that it's clean and that it's not going to be harmful. And a lot of what we put on our bodies can be disruptive to our hormonal system. Think about how it can accumulate. We're using these products every single day, right? So it accumulates. And I like to use as a deodorant. I like to use doTERRA's got a deodorant that's infused with essential oils. This one has got Douglas fir and Greek orange. They've got quite a few, and I love using this. It smells quite good and it works quite well. So you just put it under you put it under your arms. But if you think about where you put your deodorant, right, it's quite close to your lymph nodes. And that is, we don't want any stagnation there. And so what's nice about this as well is that it's aluminium free. So I used to do my own before. I used to make my own little deo sticks, shea butter, coconut oil, and then add my essential oils. And then I got lazy, and so now I just use doTERRA's deodorant. There's quite a few on the market that you can use that's just like a salt block or those kind of things. So that's what I do from a personal products